Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the GMT session of analysis for stock markets for the week that was been and the week that is expected to be seen coming Monday from tomorrow. Well, as you can see on the screen, we have already given you the chart of Dow Jones, which is actually a quarterly chart. So every candle is representing 3 months, right? So why did I start with quarterly? Primarily because I'm trying to analyze the trend of the market, the general trend of the market first, and because it was been an event driven last week, we will always take it quarterly first, 3 months at a stretch, to understand where are we going to get a support at the lower levels. Yeah, that's the only reason why we've taken it quarterly, and we will do this for practically all the indexes that we travel today, check today. Also, we'll try to do it for the stocks. Now, what the week has been so far, we have put indicators of CCI, we have put indicators of MACD, we have put an indicator of super trend, we have put our three moving averages, not the regular ones. The moving averages are 233, 8, 34, and 20. So four moving averages. Fourth one primarily being the mid Bollinger Band, which is moving average 20. Right? That being said and done, first things first. Market was eventful, market was bad, and today at this point of time at 38,314 for Dow Jones, don't expect an immediate reversal. It can go further 10% down. That's my first disclosure. And I hope I'm wrong. But my first disclosure is I'm expecting it to go 10% down all the way up to 33,402. Why 33,402? That happens to be your mid Bollinger Band as well as your moving average of 34, as well as your support zone, which was created in 2020 also. So if we can see something over here, the three lines or the four candles we see over here after 2020, which actually plateaued and allowed it to fall further. Yes, this one. So April 2020, and thereafter for almost 1 year, it remained stagnant, fell down in 21, and then rallied up further. So I am expecting this to be held at 33,400 for a first support zone for this Dow Jones. Don't expect the market to rally much or fall beyond this, because whatever said and done, there will be pressure on the president to do some negotiations on tariffs and try and salvage the market wherever it is. Now, whenever there is fear in the market, as we always keep talking to every one of you, whenever there is fear in the market, we ask you to become greedy. So the greed is expected to come in around 33,400 or 33,500 is where I would touch it. Right? Stop loss there. The low of the red Marubazu, which would be approximately on 2022 April or July 2022. Those two candles. I would expect the green candle and the red candle Marubazu, the low of that to be the stop loss, which is nothing but at 30,000. 29,500, I would say 30,000. A 10% stop loss could clearly be kept and traded on. Now, why do we say expect a 10% lower? All other indicators are in a bearish mode. Look at CCI, it has just turned down. Look at MACD, it has just curved down. After a long bull phase run from 2020 onwards, it has just curved down now, and a correction can be seen. This is a quarterly chart. Aditya, can you change this chart now to monthly? Now, if you look at the monthly chart, you will realize that your first stop resistance or support is at 34,000. You are at 38 just now. Your support is at 34,300. And again, below that, you will realize the same supports are being held at 29 or 30,000 also. Again, check your indicators, all turning bearish. Most of the indicators are turning bearish. Your lower Bollinger Band, which was climbing, is now reducing the thing and becoming flattish, and the upper Bollinger Band has already turned flattish. Upper Bollinger Band turning flattish is a clear trend that the pressure to move the price down will now enhance it further. Aditya, change this to a weekly chart and then to a day chart and let them see the effect. How do you realize that? The super trend changed way back, and your support is again at what price? Your 233 moving average, which is 35,600. So weekly support is also being shown to you. Super trend has turned bearish on the weekly chart, and that is how analysis would be done. Go further and take it out to a day chart. Do you realize that the weekly trend changed way back in February 2024, February 24th, around that time, when the super trend changed from bullish to bearish at 43,000 on the day chart. The chart had given you indication that we will come down, and now we are on the way down. And look at your MACD opening up. Look at your CCI opening up. Though you are in an oversold position in a CCI, it can still go further down because the other indicators are really bad now. Clear? Guys, we can make it now interactive by you unmuting and asking questions whenever you have a doubt. But Dow Jones clearly moving down, and that is exactly happening on practically every index globally. Practically happening every index globally. Right? Now, if you want to change of index, we can take TSX or we can take nasdaq with this. Aditya, again start with the quarterly channel and then we'll go up. Right? Now, in the quarterly, again, pretty similar to what Dow Jones was saying, but here again, your support is at 20,134, which is also your super trend level. Now, we haven't taught all of you super trends, but it is a super trend level and a very strong quarterly support. Not even weekly, not even monthly. It is a quarterly support. 20,150, 20,200. Right? The negative crossovers in MACD has just happened about 2 weeks, about 2 quarters back. You can just see that. From the oversold position, it is now coming down on CCI also. So now you know where do you buy TSX at what levels do you expect it to fall. Currently, TSX is at 23,200. Expect another 3,000 points down. quarterly chart. Let's check the monthly chart now. It is mirroring exactly, the chart hasn't changed. Oh, that means you were watching the monthly chart there. Never mind. Good. So this is the monthly chart. It is actually mirroring exactly what we see on Dow Jones. Why is that? Because globally we were hit. The decision of the American president has hit the world. There are rumors spreading all over the place. America is going to go into recession and blah, 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 blah. I look at it as a time to hold on to your portfolio or to liquidate and buy at a lower level. Liquidate your portion and buy 10% lower. No harm going in cash. No harm converting a portfolio to cash. And if your portfolio is showing profit, I would definitely say liquidate and come into cash, because the market is going to go down. Candlestick patterns very clearly. Clean Marubazu. These are monthly charts, clean Marubazu. Quarterly is showing clean Marubazu. So you will find this. Can you convert this now chart from monthly to weekly and then to daily? And the same thing will be seen. Clean. Two Marubazus back to back, and the super trend changes on the Marubazu. White from bullish to bearish. And look at the MACD. No chance is it thinking of even reversing. It is opening up the gap between the signal line and the MACD line. Very clearly, weekly support 20,800. So we are talking about 3,000 points further downtrend expected. Weekly chart. But if you look at the candlestick patterns, the support could be at a higher level also at about 21,300 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 21,500. But 21,000 or 20,800 or 21,000 is round the corner. When do we see a reversal? We will see the reversals when we see MACD climbing, when we see CCI moving up, and when we see some strength coming back. Till then, there is fear in the market. So ride the fear trend and let it go down. My suggestion over here would be very clearly, for the sake of repeating, if you are holding a portfolio, liquidate. 10% lower values can be seen. I hope I'm wrong. You don't see 10% down. But even if you see 5% down, if you liquidate now, you will buy it 5% cheaper. Clear? Watch it also on your day chart, the same effect as on Dow Jones. I'm not bothered about going to anything else. Plus, the super trend is a complete V. It's not even flattened yet on a day chart. So you can expect much lower levels. The day chart has also broken the moving average 233. The long-term moving average of 200 1 year has also been broken at 233, which was at 24,000. Currently, you are at 23,200. You are much lower than that. Look at the lower Bollinger Band, completely turned down, and the upper Bollinger Band is expanding upwards. Mid Bollinger Band curving down cleanly curving down. So you will expect this to fall further. MACD, no chance of reversal. It is opening up the alligator's mouth, trying to gobble up the market. CCI, completely oversold position and falling. No reversals seen. because the trend is that of fear. The trend is that of fear. Aditya, can you change this to now NASDAQ and let's just run through quickly because the indexes are almost same. NASDAQ would be NX, IXJ something. No, IX. All right, NDX. It's the same thing. There is nothing to analyze in this stock. It is mirroring, all the three indices are mirroring each other, and actually not only all three, it is mirroring across the globe. It is mirroring, and there is a feeling of fear stepping into the market, a fear of recession coming in, which is why I told you guys, if you're holding a portfolio, liquidate and come into cash. You will get things 10% cheaper. Or you could buy puts, long puts. Long puts giving you approximately about 1 month expiry, and monitoring your puts in such a way that you are able to close whenever you see a reversal. So you'll have to be very nimble and quick in your trades when you're buying a put. So you could buy puts of any of these indexes and wait and enjoy the ride going down. Right? Now, anybody has any stocks that you want me to discuss, please unmute and ask one by one, or put a message on the chat and we can start checking out individual stocks. In the meantime, Aditya, can you just check Tesla?
Sir, before we go to individual stocks, so Aditya, just 1 minute. Based on the last candle, Vivek sir,
Yes.
what would be your recommendation if there is a gap down opening?
The gap down is definitely going to be there. It is already gap down in the last 3 days. 2 days of gap down, and it's going to be gap down again on Monday. But very clearly, if I'm taking a gap down position, I'm keeping my stop loss half of the Maru Bazu candle.
So would you be suggesting, even if it has a gap down opening, to take a put?
I would suggest a put only, but I would wait. Don't enter the put, rush to enter the put. Why not wait to rush to enter the put? Because the minute you have a gap down, they will try and close the gap for that day at least. So there might be a movement to go up. So you wait for a movement up and then sell. Or then you buy the put, not sell, you buy the put. You can't sell the index, you buy a put.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And how about suggesting to wait until end of Monday? With 3 red days, we can expect.
Then you might get 3 black crows. You might get a candle of 3 black crows falling further down. So you will lose out the opportunity. So in that case, wait for a rise during Monday to sell, and then wait for the opportunity, because if you sell on the rise on Monday, anytime during the day, you will get closing which will be deep red. Though there are protests, we keep hearing about a lot of protests all across US.
Yes.
So I am now trying to merge and club political will as well as what the administration would do. Because of the political pressure, he may tweet something. So you may see a spike up on Monday also as a pullback rally. But that rally, you will use it to sell. He is not going to withdraw his tariffs that easily. He is just coming to the position of power. He will not withdraw his tariffs easily. He may taper them down. But will that really help you? Is to be seen. Because your trends are clearly bearish now. Super trend has clearly turned bearish, and the super trend has not yet turned flattish. Even if you look at the last 1 week of the candles of Nasdaq, after Friday, it gave you 3 days of red candle movement and then gave you 2 days of back to back down. So that gave you a chance that we are talking about a pullback, but the tariffs were very heavy and they brought it down. So what do you expect now? Sideways and then come down. So when I'm saying buy a put of anything, please buy puts which are OTM puts, not very far away, but have time duration and expiry in your favor. So do not buy puts of 1 week or 2 weeks. I would say buy a put for about 3 or 4 weeks away, expiry, 3 or 4 weeks away, so that the decay in the put value will not affect you, and just the market trend will help you out. So you are buying a put, you're not selling a put,
Right. Thank you, Vivek, sir.
right?
Vivek Krishna, did you have a question, or you wanted to request SPY and QQQ, which would follow the index trend?
Basically SPY, because I'm not worried about TSX. TSX is already dead, so more worried about SPY.
All right. So Aditya, we will do SPY in that case. Again, quarterly. I think it'll mirror the same thing.
Yeah.
Sir, I find like there is a small support now, but I may be wrong.
That is why, Vivek, what we will do is we will start off with quarterly charts, because these were very big, heavy fall months. So when I'm taking a quarterly chart, my first support is at around 450, 450 or 435. Come lower down. Yeah, 435, 450. Because that is also the support trend support. Now the quarterly chart, 450, 435, it should give me a bounce from there. And you look at the indicators, Vivek, CCI and MACD, the quarterly is just giving you a downtrend. MACD has just given you a negative crossover. Right? Now on a quarterly chart, you are below your 8 moving average. Your 34 is below your support trend. So which is why your support trend and mid Bollinger Band, which are almost at similar levels, should act as a strong support for you to buy. So whenever you get them, SPY at around 450, 435, I would like to buy it to see a small bump up, bounce up.
Yes,
So these
sir.
are quarterly charts. So that is why 435 and 450 is my buying zone for SPY. All right, Vivek.
Yes, sir.
Check this on monthly chart now, Aditya. And where is the support trend now? Exactly where we told you, 450.
Yes, sir. I
Right?
mean,
And the support trend is just turned flat. Yes, tell me, Vivek.
they are predicting 1987 style recession, but I can't see the chart of that.
So
But
I
I don't know. But
I really don't want to look all that far, because when I'm taking a quarterly chart, I'm seeing a strong support which is at COVID level. So when you're touching COVID level, you can't go below that.
okay, sir.
When COVID, when everything was shut down,
Mhm.
economy was almost down to zero. You were down to your basic essentials in your home. Economy was down to zero. It did not fall and come to 1987 levels. So I don't expect 1987 levels immediately in the near future. There are a lot of other bigger, stronger supports much before that,
Okay, sir.
right? So you have seen the quarterly chart. We can check this on monthly chart and the weekly chart, and you see the same, practically same levels coming up. Now here again, 450 is your 200 moving average on the weekly moving average. The 200 weekly moving average. 200 weekly is about 5-year moving average, or a 10-year moving average. Sorry. So you're talking about a 10-year moving average being touched at 450, and they're taking the bounce. So first bounce support is at 450. Currently, you are at 500 already. So 450 and 435 is exactly the range that I would like to buy it at.
Sir, what do you think about the duration of this recession, sir? Because if the tariffs are gonna stay, in that case, like the manufacturing has to restart in US, so that will take like at least months to years, right?
Of course, of
What
course.
do
So
you
you think the consumers will like to wait for that long?
know?
No, consumers will not wait, which is why the protesters are already filling up the streets of the major cities in the US. Now, I'll give you a counter argument to the same effect. There are already thoughts in the market. We already knew Tesla and Apple and the others had dumped stocks into the US market prior to the tariffs being announced. So they have already catered with their stocks inside the country. Now, what can happen next? Tariffs are not uniform on a product across the world. It will not take long for corporates to open up offshore companies in countries where tariffs are low and use that as a bouncing board to move stock into US markets, because US market is where consumption will take place. So if the government is going to be becoming smart, the corporates are definitely going to be double smart. Until that time, the manufacturing can shift back to the US, which is not going to be in the next 3 or 4 quarters. It will take at least 2 or 3 years. The corporate companies will start moving material into the US, goods into US through offshore companies in third countries where tariffs are low.
Hmm. Okay,
And this is
thank
not the first time. It has happened earlier also. It happened many more times earlier also. It was very frequently being done earlier. You
Yeah.
guys will not know about this, but there was a time when US would be importing textile garments under quota system, and the countries which were exporting garments were India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all under heavy control, and Nepal and Sri Lanka, all under heavy control of quotas. What did the exporters do? They moved their production bases and were exporting out of Mauritius. So what would they do? They would send the garments into Mauritius only for fixing up buttons and finishing it. And the export would show as export from Mauritius, because Mauritius was a quota-free country in garments. So if corporates could do that and do such activity way back in 2000 and 1995, 96, when the Gulf War was around, they can do that now also. So the corporates will be quick-footed and nimble to take action to secure their business, which is why Teslas and the other companies and the Apples have moved their products already into the American shores before the tariffs could be introduced.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So,
So next,
all right, let's go back to the
uh,
next.
yeah, next
Naval will
request is
now
from Munir, SOXL.
SOXL.
His question is, can we take SOXL? And
All right.
just before we started the recording, I was mentioning in last 2 days, SOXL has dropped over 50%. On Thursday, it dropped by close to 30%, and then on Friday, close to 24%.
And you are down on a quarterly chart for the last 1 year, falling completely. So don't even blame me tariff for this. Now look at SOXL and tell me, where do you find a support? Would you like to touch this company just now? 1 year of complete downtrend alone No chance of reversal.
Sir, it's an ETF. It follows the semiconductor index.
Yeah, but then you tell me one thing: 1 year of complete red, 4 quarters of complete red marks, and the last one is a clean Marubazu. You had your super trend way back in 2023 or 2022. Sorry, turning bearish. Yeah, and then now super trend was turning flat, and it now curved down. I would not like to buy this SOXL, at least not till I don't see a clean reversal. And my reversal is clean. It should cross the high of the previous red candle, or at least give me some glitter of hope in the 50% of the last candle, last Marubazu red candle, 50% at least. Before that, I will not think about entering it. Take this chart on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, and it will give you the same results. Monthly, clean, 4 months. No, this is again quarterly. Sorry, this is again quarterly.
This is monthly, sir. Aditya, can you take to weekly?
This is a weekly chart. Tell me where do you find a reversal? Every time it reverses, it goes to the next previous Marubazu high and falls down. See what happened in October, November. It went to the high of the Marubazu in August end, and it fell down. The Marubazu to the left, Aditya, yes, now to the right, just above the D, to the right of the D, yes. What is the high? The high is 3681. Now in October, mid-October, it went to 3681, it went to 3738, and it fell down. It went to 41 and it fell down. So it touches the Marubazu and then again comes down. And currently, super trend was flattish and again taken a downtrend. So wait till the super trend turns flattish for you to buy it, to take it up to that level. It is not even going to the full super trend level. So you are very clearly seeing it on a weekly chart. Also, the trend is down. Look at the MACD. There is no chance that he is thinking of reversing. Check this chart on daily chart and you will see a bigger gamble. Look at the super trend now. Vivek, unmute and ask.
Sir, in the same chart that you showed before, there is a small divergence that is coming up, right? Would that be taken away? So
Weekly
if you
chart.
see even now here, like if you see
Yes.
CCI divergence, so the last two lows, if you take into consideration,
Yeah.
there and the next one, it has
Yes.
gone up, while on the other hand, the candles have come down. So it's like showing some strength, which is what has given you the green volume there. But I'm not sure like whether that is gonna take a little bit up because trying to come inside the Bollinger Band. But yes, definitely the trend is down. So that's my
I'm expecting it to go further down because my MACD is clearly, though it is giving me a green histogram on the below the zero line, it is still not planning to open up and curve up. There is no curvature I'm seeing in MACD. My super trend is clearly down. My Bollinger Bands are clearly curving down. So though CCI is giving me as an oversold position divergence, but that will be taken down. Moni, you have raised a hand. Unmute and ask.
Yeah,
Speak.
yeah. Basically, this is like a ETF, and the way I trend it, like I see the support at 6.20. So this is my buying area, 6.2, and like you said,
6.2.
it
One
goes
second.
up
That
to
means you. How did you get 6.2? We saw weekly chart or quarterly chart or monthly chart.
uh, it will be on the weekly or monthly. It's at 6.2 is the support.
Then it should
So
be monthly.
yeah, so the way I trade it like 6.2, and even if it go up to previous candle, it's 14 point something. So it gives me 100% return, and within a month period. So it wouldn't be a bad thing. Like if I buy it at 6.2 and sell it at 12 or even about 10, so it's a good return in term of the investment.
Yeah, but
And if you see,
one second.
Mhm.
Aditya, take it back to day chart. 6.2. Currently at 8.73. You're talking about another 25% down.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
sir.
will go 6.2. Clearly, it will go 6.2.
No,
I have already
I'm
put.
not denying it. I'm not denying
Hmm.
it. I'm saying 25% down, further down, and then you're
Yeah,
expecting it to climb up from 6.2 to 14.
yeah, it will do. It's a history
So
like it has been doing for
I
a long
agree.
term.
I'm not denying that issue. It is showing history. But yes, that's a trade you could take, but I will not look at 14 as a target. I will look at, because look at the day chart and you see it goes up and then it is going to fall down and it is not going beyond the super trend levels. And current trend of super trend is at approximately lower, lower. Yes,
The mid Bollinger or
15.5,
blue line.
15.5
Yeah,
below the mid Bollinger Band,
yeah,
much below the
Yeah,
mid Bollinger Band.
yeah,
yeah.
15.5. That's why I'm
Yes,
expecting around 14.
but then it is not touching the mid Bollinger. It is not touching the super trend and falling. It is not touching. It is always being away by super trend by almost about a dollar and a half. You look at
Oh,
the rise I saw in April, March, April, the green candles, and the rise exactly over here to your right, three candles over here to your right, two more, yes, over here. And what is the super trend level here? You were at 20, at much higher, at 24, whereas this is at, the chart was at 20. So you were $4 away. So even if you're at 15, at if you're buying at 6.2, if you're getting a price of 12 or even 11, I'll happily exit this price.
yeah,
Yes, so that still
I mean,
gives over
it's an
90.
individual trading call. It's an individual trading call. If you're buying at 6.2, you can afford to trail your stop losses till eternity. Well, that's a
yeah,
very strong buying area,
yeah,
right? Good.
Yeah,
Kamal, which is the next one?
thanks, Muni. The next one is closer to it, NVIDIA, which is one of the semiconductor stock within the SOXL index or
I
SOX
think
index.
it will manage the same way. It will actually show the same trend. It is slightly stronger, but here again, the big Marubazu candle, last green candle, low of that is also one third of your previous candle. The low is 75.61 or 75.5 is also one third of your previous candle, previous Marubazu. And that's a quarterly low or half. So that is where you can expect a support. And that also happens to be your super trend support at 55. Sorry, at 55, 56 days. But MACD has just turned bearish. Though the histograms are now, which was in the positive territory, will turn back and come into negative territory. And NVDA should see a correction, but I don't know as of right now because of the tariff war. Will NVDA have it in its favor because Taiwan may not be able to supply chips and semiconductors that freely. So NVDA may benefit, which is why I would be a buyer if I see a green candle over here. Can you see the monthly chart now? And the weekly chart? Look at the MACD in the monthly chart, just crossed over. And the weekly chart, now you tell me. The monthly chart, MACD has just crossed into negative territory. Green candles beginning to become big and go up. Now you realize your support trend will act like a very strong support, which is 82.8250 or 80, and then later you will have your other supports coming at 67, which is your 34 moving average, 67, 68. But these are monthly monthly charts. Now take it weekly. Your super trend has just turned bearish, and after a flattish curve is going to go down. MACDA has just opened up its mouth going down. Bearish signals. CCI oversold, flattish, can go down. Each time it touches the low and it forms a newer price is forming a newer low. Clear? Check this on the day chart. Rahul, if you are raising your hand, I suggest unmute and ask your question. Rahul, feel free to unmute and ask. It's an interactive session. Feel free to unmute and ask. Again, on the day chart, MACD is very clearly alligator is opening his mouth down, is going to go further down. Super trend, clearly downtrend, mid Bollinger Band, clearly downtrend. And the lower Bollinger Band is curving down and expanding, ballooning up. So expect
I'm
more
audible, sir?
lower downs. Yes, you are cracking but audible.
Okay. So, sir, in this market, which one is the good opportunity to enter if we're sitting on money?
I would say wait, because
Sitting on
I've already said I'm expecting a 10% further correction in the broader markets. So don't be in a hurry to enter now. As we always keep talking about in the class, you wait for a clean reversal to be seen and then enter your market. And the trend to enter the market is very clearly in the falling market. Please check which stock is showing strength in holding and not falling. When the global is falling, please check some stocks will be holding out and not falling. And those are the stocks that you will like to buy whenever the market reverses. Because when the market reverses, those are the stocks which will run. Not only run, they will gallop to profits.
And
So
where we
that
find
is
those?
how do you find those stocks? You have to check them out. Which are the stocks which are showing green on weekly trends or
on
green
the
candle,
screeners.
or on a screen of green on a weekly trend and not falling, least falling in the last 1 week or least falling in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, on the screeners, if you look on the weekly interval, keep the change greater or equal to 0.
Correct. And sir, right now game, right? GME. It is right now going in opposite direction.
So if you're talking about GameStop, GME, we don't consider that for technical analysis, as it is purely
Yeah.
speculated stock.
Correct.
Right? All right.
No.
So
Thanks.
NVDA. Any more questions on NVDA?
So, sir, what will be the level of buying you suggest? Like 70 if it comes, or before that?
1 minute.
84 is suggested based on the super trend level, and then further if it drops, then the next supports will be, one was around 70 and next was 50.
If you convert this, check this on the quarterly chart, you will see your trend very clearly seen. Your supports will very clearly be seen there,
Okay.
right? So the low of that last green candle, next one, yeah. The low here is 75.61, which is your buying zone. Around 75 is your buying zone. That is the first one, which also happens to be between your 8 moving average and 20 moving average and your support trend. So if you look at the support trend level, the support trend level is very clearly showing to you at 55, 54, 55. So anything between 55 and 60 is where I would like to enter NVDA. So that would be a safe place to enter.
Okay.
Which one, sir? 50, 56?
Anything between $55 and $60 on NVDA would be a safe zone to enter.
Okay.
But that
And
means
what about the
that means I'm talking
positions?
about it being at least 50% less or about 30% less.
Okay. And any suggestion on the positions that we are holding? My average is around 120.
Well, I've just said that if you're holding positions, it's time to liquidate all of them, even if you're in loss, because you will get a chance to buy them at a lower level of at least 10% lower, if not more. If you're talking about NVDA, you
Yeah.
will get a chance to buy 30% lower. So you
Okay.
will get this. You will get this around $60 definitely.
Okay.
Right? So that is the way. And the general trend of the market is a 10% correction, even in the index, is expected further
Okay. In the near future.
in the near future. I would say within a matter of a
Weeks.
10% correction within a matter of next 2 weeks on the index, broader indices such as Dow Jones, SPY, Nasdaq will give you a 10% correction in the next 2 weeks.
So, sir, how would you suggest to navigate the covered calls? Whatever we hold.
If you're holding a covered call, then you should be knowing that you are either in
No,
profit or
like
in a
the
loss.
value is very less. I normally sell on every week, but nowadays, the value is too low.
Yeah.
So,
So if you're selling a call, you will be making the most money,
yeah.
right? You'll be making the most money, but the capital deployed is much higher. If you're going to if you're selling a put, that is where you will lose money.
Yeah.
So I would not touch selling a put at this point of time because the market is down.
Correct.
So that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
I
sir.
would rather trade naked in buying a put, but a long put, so that even if it happens, I will get the decay will not happen in my price, and I will get the downward movement, volatility, and the premium on the put.
Okay.
So I would rather go buying a put rather than, or you can even sell a call. That is a safer journey to take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Sir, there are 6 more requests
Yes.
from
Let's
Neil.
take BNS and CSU.
Yeah.
Let's take CSU first.
Yeah. Actually, CSU is requested by Neil and Vivek Krishna.
So both will take CSU together. Again. Now, this is again a software company, division company. I don't know much about this, so possibly our software experts here will talk about it. But
So
technically,
this,
it is looking good.
so it's like in terms of trading, it's traded next to Shopify on TSX.
Hmm.
So it has, unlike Shopify, its price was not split.
Yes. But so far, it has not given you a negative crossover in your MACD or in your CCI. And CCI has, but MACD has not. And I would look at it that even if it falls further, look to buy it somewhere near the blue tab, which is around 3,500, which is also the low of the last green Marubazu, which is a 8 quarter moving average. 8 quarter moving average is almost about 2 year moving average. This is a quarter. This is a quarterly chart. Check this out on a weekly chart, and you will get a better idea. Now, the weekly chart is very clearly showing you a few things. Number one, it is already at its weekly support, which should be, yes, somewhere here, or even lower, which happened in the month of April and June. Can I annotate on you? I can't annotate on this. So something over here on the April and June, that could be a weekly support. That could be a support also where you could buy. Does that answer you, Neil, Vivek? Because the MACD is clearly going down.
Yes, sir. I am planning to enter, but not now. But I will. I'm there in my watch list because it's a very expensive stock.
Yes.
So just to enter at the right time. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the last candle on the week, can you take it on a daily chart? Because the last candle is a bearish engulfing candle. And the weekly chart, last candle is bearish engulfing. The day chart will tell you something else. There it goes. It is touching the 1 year moving average. And if it goes below that, it is a bearish after giving dividends. So it could bounce from here. If you're looking for a very quick short trade, a quick short trade would be using your 200-day moving average as a stop loss. Your super trend flattening is your first target. But these are day charts. Last 2 days were bad, which is primarily because of the tariff wars. Right? And the MACD is below the zero line and negative crossover. CCI is clearly downtrend, no chance of reversal, not even flattening down. So expect further downside on this chart. Does that answer CSU for Vivek and Neil? Neil, if
Yes.
you're on call, please answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's let's take BNS now. Ah, now in the BNS, the quarterly support was clearly seen at the lower Bollinger Band or slightly higher at about 40. Yes, somewhere here, 41, 43. around 43. Yeah, this is a quarterly chart. Now, BNS is showing strength because it's a banking stock in primarily in Canada. It has its branches all over the world, but primarily Canada. So that is the reason why it is showing a strength. On the if you change this to a monthly or a weekly chart, you will get a better idea on it. You realize that super trend is flat, going down but flattening, not in the acute steep down, and it is maintained its low for the last 5 weeks. 5 week low is being maintained. Now the weekly chart on the BNS is showing a reversal on MACD as well as CCI is showing oversold position. So if it moves up, mid Bollinger Band or your super trend level is the first target, which is 51.
The mini chunk starts in.
But the way to trade this, whenever it crosses 48, you buy it for a target of 51. When it crosses 48, that is the 8 moving average. So the price has to go up above the 8 moving average and then you buy it. First target is your super trend levels and then the second target would be your mid Bollinger Band and then your 200-day moving average. But that is pretty far away. I will not even wait for that. I would rather get out at 51 and say thank you very much, close my trade, because the markets are not in our field. Clear? Change this from weekly to daily and see if we can see a better effect. See, it showed you that. Does it make sense to you now? And look at the MACD, so close to the zero line.
The mini chunk starts.
Which is why I say banking in Canada may pick up faster, may see a reversal faster. Now, Aditya, if you can take TD now after BNS so that we can clear off Vivek completely. TD will be pretty similar to BNS.
Yeah, TD and Royal Bank both are banks. So I
RBC,
was asking-
BNS, and TD will be pretty similar to each other.
yeah, and also Royal Bank, sir, RY.
The
Yeah,
TD
ROI,
78.
ROI.
I'm expecting 78.
Yes, why not? Because there is a big Maru Bazu and 78 would actually make it. No, keep a day chart. TD day chart. Vivek, just watch. It has bounced from a 200-day moving average
Mhm.
on a day chart, but the super trend is clearly curving down. No mood of flattening. So 78 could be round the corner.
Yes, sir. If I buy there, then I don't have to trade for a couple of years. I mean, provided if it is a strong support.
So it is check it out on a weekly support. You'll see on a weekly support 78. Where is 78? It is at the super trend levels. 79, 78 is the super trend level,
Just
and it's a green super trend level. So it is a strong bearish super trend.
one.
And take a monthly chart.
One. 10
Now 79 is also the mid Bollinger Band. There's a squeeze in the Bollinger Band happening. And your MACD is at the zero level. If it shoots off from here, which Vivek Narate will definitely tell you what will happen. It will suddenly give you a spike up. It's a very narrow squeeze on a monthly chart, and you are in the upper bracket of the squeeze. The lower Bollinger Band is turned flattish. If it squeezes up and gives you an upper push, the upper targets are clearly there. Clear?
Yes,
You
sir.
want me to analyze RY also for this?
Yes, sir. So basically, what the analysts are saying is like RY and National Bank of Canada. These two are the best managed banks in Canada.
All right.
So
How about
RY, there was a time I bought at 80 and it went to whatever,
Yeah.
but I exited at that time. Now
Lovely.
I'm buying. So now it is at 148.
Huh.
Uh, I mean,
157.
yeah, exactly. So it should give a very good entry, and if it is giving a good entry, then I don't have to think about my RRSP. I'll just put that in, and then that's it.
Yes. Yes. But with RY, Royal Bank of Canada, I'm expecting a downtrend because the MACD has just curved down
Yep.
and PCI also has. So
Yep.
we look to buy it around the mid Bollinger levels, or yes, around lower than this, around this level.
140?
140. Yeah.
140 or even 135.
Sure, sir.
140 would be a good place to buy it at. And these are monthly charts. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
good. Aditya, AMC.
Who says that?
Last, that is the last, and nothing else. We have covered everybody else.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. That's the last, and then there's one question from Atul.
Yes, I've seen Atul's.
Sir, I have a call on this.
You have a call on this now. At what price have you bought a call? What is the expiry?
Sir, expiry is in 2 weeks, sir. But this is the price I bought. Like on Friday only I bought. But I bought a 2 point. I think just give me 1 second. 2.5 call or something. 1 second.
And what is the price just now? 2.6.
I bought a $3 call at 11 cents. April
Take this,
17th.
take this on a day chart.
Because the
Monthly
reason
chart
why
is
I
not
bought
showing
is GME was like spiking. So
the last candle is green. A hammer at the lower trend. So yes, you can look at the target, but you are talking about expiry 2 weeks from now.
yes, sir. This is more like happens or not happens. That kind of a way I thought, because GME was going up. So usually AMC follows, but
Hmm.
this was pure of a lotto thing, sir. I never did anything.
Well, you
No.
are at your 200-day moving average, so and you are in an oversold position, and MACD may curve up. So if it curves up, your upper Bollinger Band will be a target, which is exactly where you're looking at $3, 3.15 or 3.12 or 3.2 is the target. So if you
Okay.
want a call, I would say trade with a strict stop loss
Okay, sir.
because you will see a bounce. You will see a intraday bounce either Monday or Tuesday because of the protests against the government. You may see a bounce back or some tweet to pacify the protesters, and that
Mhm.
bounce will give you the effect on this chart also.
Super, sir. Thank you.
Right? Lovely. Now, Atul, to your question, regular monthly ETF investment by broker. Do we need to stop for some time? Monthly ETF investments, if you're doing a kind of a SIP, I would say don't stop. You can stop it for a week or 2 weeks if you want, but I would not suggest to stop because I'm expecting the markets to go further down by about 10% more. So if you want to wait for that long, you can stop or pause till that time. But market is now at its monthly support levels. Oh, sorry, quarterly support levels. Quarterly support levels are very, 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 very strong support levels. So that is the way it's going to be. Clear? Balance, of course, we will finish off after I will finish off Mahesh's TSLL.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
just
called
one point I
TSLL.
wanted to add to what you said
Yeah,
about
go ahead. Please speak.
Atul's response. Yeah, Atul, since you have mentioned monthly ETF, as Vivek sir also linked, since it's monthly ETF, I don't see you need to think about stopping it because we are at the start of this month, and with 10% drop, which Vivek sir has shared as per the analysis, we are expecting that it could happen in couple of weeks. So if your ETF deduction happens towards the end of the month, then you would get at a lower price. If it happens within these 2 weeks, you can plan to pause. But still, if you think from the price perspective, since the indexes have dropped, your current level itself is lower than the previous purchases. So you can, if you want to pause, you can aim to have more funds ready, so you can, when this 10% drop happens, you can buy it in more quantity, as you would get it at a lower price. And since you are buying monthly, I believe the intention is to hold for a longer term. Okay. Yes, Vivek sir, you can
So
take
that's
the last.
perfect. The last is TSLL.
That's so TSL is Tesla's leverage
Tesla
ETF.
Bull.
Yeah.
Ah. Mahesh, look at TSLL right from January to date. It's in a downtrend. Now, in January, it was at what level? At almost 39 level or even higher, 40. Currently, it's at 8. And this is a day chart. Your trend is clearly down. Clearly down. So, in a falling market, specifically when the market is going to be attacking and punishing Trump and all his associates, nearby associates, Tesla will get hit, and TSLL will also get hit. Right now, same chart when you check on the quarterly, on a monthly, and the weekly, you will realize it is going clearly down. It's already below its 200 moving average. So don't think about buying this chart now. Forget the quarterly, take only the monthly chart now. It's a recent listing. Right now, your super trend is down. There is no way. You are almost at your life low on TSLL, almost near the life lows. So you should be a buyer of TSLL around $5, five and a half, if you get it, which you will most probably get it within the next 2 weeks. If you get it around $5, feel free to buy it, because that's like a it can't go below that, right? So you already know it's falling at its life lows. If you are going at a life low, you can afford to buy it at any risk can be taken on that. And then don't wait for a target of about 30 or 40. If you're buying it at 5, get out at 15 or 20. You are quadrupling your capital or your investments. So TSLL, as of right now, I would like to wait. wait for it a good entry price. Does that answer you, Mahesh? Feel free to unmute and answer or reply. All right. Anybody else? Any more questions?
Just sir, I would like to add to what you already covered
Go-
about
go ahead.
ESLL. So with the price level that you mentioned, I think it's a good opportunity to, or it's a good ETF to keep in the watch list for the opportunity to buy and multiply your investments. As VXR also shared the target, which could be minimum 3 to 4 times. And since it's Tesla leverage ETF, when Tesla goes up, it can easily help in giving 2, 3, 4 times return. Last November, within few weeks, it had gone from around $9 to $36-40.
But that was primarily because of the elections that were happening in America.
Yeah. So even if we think about positional holding, this can be considered when it drops to 5.5.
Yes, position
Dollars.
holding. I will completely agree because it's a good entry price. 550 would be a very good entry price because the company doesn't disappear away that easily. It has got its products, it has got its clients, it has got its customer base, which is very strong. At that level, it's a good buy. And even if you double your capital or make a multiple of 3 or 4, it's a very good multi-bagger.
Right.
Rahul, you raised a hand. Please unmute and ask. In the
Sir,
meantime,
one more good stocks I follow is MU. Like it's also similar to Nvidia. It's like chip, and they have just put it like their big enhancement, and they center production everything. So
Micron Technology.
yes,
Okay.
compared to other cheap maker, this one is less expensive. If you saying
Yeah. It's also, sir. It's also a semiconductor. So the trend that we saw on the semiconductor stocks, I just quickly open and it's similar, but maybe we can go to Adil's two request and then close off with Micron. Or since Aditya already has opened, we can complete
no, you
this and then.
complete MU first. Complete MU analysis. Kamal, take over.
Aditya, if you take on the monthly chart. Yeah. So the last candle is a red Maru Wazoo. So like what Wakes are already analyzed about the indexes, we can expect this to drop further as well. And the
correct, Kamal sir. So I want to see what is your analysis to enter point on. This is also good stocks company compared to AI manufacturing and also.
right. So the next support on this lower Bollinger Band is still further down, but that doesn't look to be a support. Lower Bollinger Band has turned downward on super trend, which has been using in this analysis, in this sessions analysis, is downwards, and none of the indicators are showing even flattening or indication that it could reverse. Aditya, if you could take to weekly or daily chart. Rahul, is this stock for short quick trade or for longer position?
Swing anything, but
Yeah, so on daily chart, the last two candles gap down and going further down. Even next session, we can expect there would be a gap down opening. And so on the daily chart, there's no support from the current trend. Aditya, how about weekly?
I think the monthly would be a easier chart to check and monthly or quarterly would be easier to check and
Yeah,
correlate.
for a support level.
Yeah.
Right. So
And your supports are very clearly identified here.
the super trend level, Aditya, what's the price level? 56?
The trend around 2021, the two green dojis after the red Marubasu, 22, 21, 22.
Yeah,
To your left, to your right, Aditya. Yeah, that's this one.
the low of
These
those.
two dojis, the low of these two dojis,
Low or
48.
even closing body could be the, I think that's the level that super trend is showing. Aditya, slightly up, the close, yeah.
No, even
56.
lower, around 48, 45, 48.
Thank you, sir. So below 50, yeah, it's expected to keep going down, but in future, it is chances to be going up because they have also good contract as per company fundamental.
Yeah, because if they're into semiconductors and all that, they will be highly required if the manufacturing is somewhere somewhere within US. So you check out this company where the manufacturing is being done. Is it in Taiwan or is it China or is it US?
Taiwan.
Then it is going to get badly affected. Well, the tariffs will affect it. Look at the support even in the month of 2019. The low there in 2019. Yes, there. That is about 32. So anything between 35 and 45, you should be a buyer. 35 and 45.
Okay, sir.
And that also happens to be below your lower Bollinger Band. Current lower Bollinger Band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
So last two stocks for the day, DFY and VFV. I think VFV is an ETF, I believe.
DFY is
No,
take the monthly chart, monthly or weekly chart. One of the few charts which has not really corrected much, if you ask me.
sir, also because it's on TSX, so typically it moves lower.
Oh, it's a TSX. Oh, yes. It's a TSX. Well, you are at your highs, current highs. So look to buy something around what, 54, 55, which is the lower Bollinger Band, or if you see a spike up further. Do you have a position in this, Adil?
Yes, I bought at I think when it dipped, I bought at 55, but I am looking to add some more, so that's why I'm asking your expert opinion. So when I can buy more if it goes
Well,
on this
the
level.
market is expected to go further down. So look at the low which happened about 4 weeks back, 4 candles back. The low, yes, this low. This low is approximately 57. So you should look to buy again around your buy price. Anything between 57 and 59, add to your position and then exit at the recent high, which is in the green Marubazu candles above. Aditya, I can't see the candles because of the Bollinger Band. Yeah, anywhere around above here. So anything around 63, 64 or higher, look to exit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Right? All right.
Yes.
VFV. You have a position in VFV also, Adil?
Yes, I have bought some at like I think the January first week at around I think 149. Yeah, at start of this year.
Well, to be
Sir,
honest, this is an index.
sir, and as you can see, it's a S&P 500 ETF. So typically,
So
this
it will
is used
follow
for
S&P
long-term
completely.
position.
Mm-hmm.
It will follow S&P completely. But the trend here is clearly downtrend. Super trend is turned bearish, falling further. Expect it to go further down. Your indicators are all bearish. MACD is completely bearish. Alligator mouth open down. No chance of reversals yet seen. So expect further downside corrections. If you change this chart to monthly or quarterly, then you can see the support very, very clearly. No. So you take the monthly support now. Quarterly is not showing you support. Quarterly support is very, very low at almost 105. Monthly support could be seen at the mid Bollinger Band level at around 110. Currently at 130. So if you have to add to your position, 110.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
All right. Lovely. Anybody else has any more questions, any more messages, any more alerts? We've had
So
a
do you
good
have the indicators saved anywhere? Like,
come again.
do you have the indicators saved? It is very helpful to understand the support and everything.
If you see the recording carefully, when I was starting the session, I had given the indicators, but if you want, I will re-give the indicators to you just now. So it is there on the recording
It
only.
will take some time, so I'll look at the recording, sir. I
One
don't
second,
want to
one
waste.
second, one second. I'll give you my indicators just now. My indicators are moving averages 233. Make a note of it.
1 second, sir.
Yeah, it's there in the screen that Aditya is sharing. So, Vivek sir, we can
Aditya, if
just
you can just go to the indicators, click on the indicator portion. Yes, lovely. Now you see all the indicators put up on the screen. Moving average 233, moving average 8, moving average 34, Bollinger Bands regular. CCI is at edited version of 13, MACD version of 8, 13 and 5, Super Trend 7 and 2.5, VWAP is regular. That's it. So all indicators are put up in front of you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. It's very
Most
helpful.
welcome. Most welcome.
thank you, Juno.
All right.
So for you, I'll make this as the thumbnail for the recording.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Lovely.
Okay,
All right.
great. Thank you, Vivek sir. This was really helpful, I believe, for all of those who are on this call and those who will be watching the recording, especially for active trading and those who are looking for an opportunity to enter, since the market has dropped in last two sessions and the expectation of further 10% drop to be a good buy level is yeah, a good message. So thanks for that. And in terms of those who are looking for long-term positions, I would recommend watching a message from Singapore Prime Minister, about 5 to 5.5 minutes message. He has consolidated the current trading situation and how the world order has changed. That's a good reference for planning your long-term positions. I'll share the recording of this session after uploading on the YouTube and also the Singapore Prime Minister's message as well. So with that, thank you all, and
Thank you all.
you all have a good profitable week, and we'll see if we can plan another session next weekend as well. Thank you so much, Vivek sir, for
Thank
your
you.
experience, insight, and hopefully that would be a good reference for everyone.
Welcome everybody. Please trade carefully. Please trade with our stop losses and be safe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thanks.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, sir.
Bye. Good
Good
night.
night. Bye bye.